Hey learners, welcome back to e-learning platform of GS College of Commerce, Verda. I, Professor Rajeshwari Sharma, welcome you all to this lecture of Business Economics. This lecture is for BCom first semester. So, under this subject, we were studying our third unit, and today we are dealing with the last chapter under our third unit, that is economies and diseconomies of scale. So, when we talk about the concept of economies and diseconomies of scale, so it is related with the production function. It is associated with the production function. Okay. So, under this topic today, we are going to see the concept of economies of scale. So, here first we need to understand that scale means the large scale production. Scale of production. Scale means the large scale production. So, and economies means the benefits or the advantages. Okay. So, when we talk about the economies of scale, so the simple meaning of this term economies of scale refers to the advantages of large scale production. Now, let's see the definition of economies of scale. What's given in a broad sense, anything which serves to minimize average cost of production in long run as scale of output increase is referred to as economies of scale, and it is measured in monetary terms. See, what is being given in the definition? In definition, it is being said that anything or any reason, any factor due to which the average cost minimizes with the increase in output leads to economies of scale for the firm, and it is measured in monetary terms. Okay. So, when we are talking about the average cost of production, so how it is calculated? So, it is calculated as total cost divided by number of outputs produced. Number of output produced. So, here in this definition, it is being said that anything or any reason because of which this average cost of production declines in long run due to increased number of output can be termed as economies of scale, and these economies of scale are measured in monetary terms. Okay. So now we will move towards the different types of economies of scale. So, when we talk about the types of economies of scale, so it is basically divided into two categories: internal economies of scale and the external economies of scale. Now, what is internal economies of scale? As the name indicates, internal. So, internal economies of scale is associated with the expansion of firm. Before understanding this concept of internal and external economies, first we need to understand the concept of firm and industry. So, what is basically a firm and what is the basic difference between the firm and industry? So, see, when we talk about the firm, so it is an individual unit in an industry. It is a part of industry. But when we talk about the industry, so it is group of firm. It is the summation of all the firms in industry. Okay. For example, if we talk about the Reliance Jio, so Reliance Jio is a firm. Okay. But when we talk about the telecom industry, so Reliance Jio, Airtel, Voda Idea, BSNL, all this firm when comes together form a telecom industry. Okay. So this way, firm is a small unit in the industry and industry is a group of firm. In the same way, we can take the example of cement industry. When we talk about the Ambuja Cement only, so it is a firm. But when we talk about Ambuja Cement, ACC Cement, Reliance, etc., so all these cement firms together makes up the cement industry. So this way, when we talk about the firm, so it is a small unit of industry and industry is the group of firms. Now, I hope you guys are clear with the meaning of firm and industry. Now we will move to our concept of internal economies of scale and external economies of scale. So what is basically the internal economies of scale? As I said, it is associated with the firms. Means when we talk about the internal economies of scale, so it arises when the output in a particular firm enlarges, when the output of the particular firm increases, or when the scale of production of a particular firm increases. So it is known as internal economies of scale. When an individual firm gets output, when the individual firm gets benefit or advantages due to its expansion, due to its large scale output, large scale production, then it is called as internal economies of scale. Now we will see the various types under the internal economies of scale. So first one over here is labor economies. So what is meant by labor economies? See, when the firm grows, when the output of the firm grows, so there is generally the specialization of labor and the division of work. And due to this division of work, the laborers get specialized in their particular work. And due to this, the average cost of output produced falls. Okay, and because of which firm benefits from this reduced cost of production. This is known as labor economies. But when the labor economies, when a firm can achieve the labor economies, when the scale of output is large, when the scale of production is large. Why? Because specialization and the division of labor is possible only with the increasing output, only with the large scale of production. Therefore, labor economies is possible when the firm expands or when the scale of output increases. The second one over here is technical economies. Technical economies are those economies which are generally associated with the production or manufacturing process itself. Like, it can be seen in various forms, like economies of superior technique, economies of linked processes, economies of byproducts, etc. So what is economies of superior technique? See, when we talk about the big firms, so they can use the more effective and efficient technique of production, because of which the output which is being produced by these big firms are more efficient, good in quality, as well as the cost of production is lower as compared to the small firms. Like, you can take the example of automatic loom and hand loom. When you use automatic loom, so it is more efficient than hand loom. But adoption of automatic loom is possible for the big textile mills, but it is not possible for a weaver, okay, for a small weaver. So this way, when the firm grows, it can use the superior technique of production, because of which it gets cost advantages, as well as along with this cost advantages, the efficiency and the effectiveness of the production increases, because of which the firm gets internal economies of scale. Then economies of linked processes. What is this economies of linked processes means? See, a large firm usually enjoys the advantages of linking of processes, that is, by arranging production activities in a continuous sequence without any loss of time. Okay, so when there is no loss of time, when there is no loss of power or the head, so of course it leads to reduction in cost, and because of this reduction in cost, the firm gets the economies or the advantages. Okay, so this is another kind of technical economies. The third one is economies of byproduct. See, when firm is big enough in size, when the output which is being produced by firm is large, when there is large scale production in firms, so what happens? The raw material doesn't go waste. Okay, the raw material which could have gone wasted in the small firm can be used in large firm as a for the formation of byproducts. They can sell it to the another industry or another firm to be used as their raw material, which is the byproduct of their original process. Like, if we take the example of big sugar factories, so their waste material which releases during the production of sugar like molasses and cane pulp can be sold to the paper industry. Okay, can be sold to the paper industry for their raw material. So this way, by selling their byproducts or the waste as a raw material to the another industry, they can earn from it, which again leads to the reduction of their main cost, and due to which they get advantages. So this is the another kind of technical economies, that is economies of byproducts. The next one is managerial economies. Now what is mean by managerial economics? See, there are two types of cost, variable cost and the fixed cost. When we talk about the variable cost, so variable costs are those costs which varies with the level of output. But when we talk about the fixed cost, so fixed costs are those costs which remains same up to certain level, okay, up to certain level of output and increases after a certain level of output. Okay, so fixed cost generally remains constant and doesn't vary with the level of output. So when we take the example of manager's salary, so it is an example of fixed cost, because manager's salary is not going to vary with the variation in the production. So it is an example of fixed cost. And when you talk about the large firms, okay, so large firms can appoint the highly specialized, highly efficient manager for the administration of its activities, so that it can get the cost advantages, it can get the better knowledge of market, and as its output is large, so it is going to be beneficial for the firm to pay handsome salary to that manager. But if the size of the firm is small, if the scale of production of that firm is small, so he cannot afford to have the specialized personnel, because they will charge more, which is not going to be affordable for small firm, which is not going to be the profitable for small firm. So in this way, when the size of output increases, so the managerial economies can also be achieved. The next one is financial economies. When we talk about the financial economies, so as the name indicates, financial economies, it is related with the acquisition of finance. So when we talk about the large firms, so it is easy for the large firms to get more and more finance. It's actually large firms are having more options to procure finance as compared to the small firms. See, if I'm going to ask you, you have two options. Either you can make investment in the shares of some well-renowned company like Bajaj, or you can make investment in the share of my company, which is not well-renowned, which is not well-reputed. So in which company you are going to invest? Of course, you will be investing in the well-renowned and the popular companies like Bajaj. So this way, when we talk about the big firms, so they are having access to the share market. They can take money from the money market, they can take money from the stock market, and at the same time they can issue the debentures. They are having collateral securities, large amount of collateral securities to offer to the banks or the financial institution for the sake of loan. So in this way, they have access to the more options for procuring finance at the lower cost as compared to the small firms. Okay, so therefore they get the financial economies as well. The next one is risk minimizing economies. So when we talk about the risk minimizing economies, so big firms are generally involved in large scale of production, and as they are involved in large scale of production, so they get the risk that they have in their business is shared. Okay, it is spreaded over the business. So they are having the economies by diversification of output, by diversification of market, etc. Take the example of some big firm. Like if you are going to take the example of Godrej, so it is engaged in the business of the soap, talcum powder, shaving cream, and many cosmetic products. So if it's going to suffer loss in one area or one product, so it can be compensated from the profit of another product. So this way, due to the diversification of output, their risk is being minimized. And when we talk about the diversification of market, so what's there in the diversification of market? When we talk about the large firms, so they have access to the extended market as compared to the small firms, and because of which if they are suffering loss in one market, so they can earn profit from the another market, and therefore they are having more stable position in the market as compared to the small firms, due to which they get their risk is distributed, the risk is shared, and risk can be minimized. So this way, these are the internal economies of scale that a firm gets due to the expansion of its output, due to the expansion of firm. Now we will move towards the external economies of scale. When we talk about the external economies of scale, so it is related to industry. It is not related to particular firm. Like I have given you the example of telecom industry. Like if the telecom industry is expanding, so all the firms who are working under the telecom industry like Airtel, Jio, Voda Idea, BSNL, every firm in that industry will get advantage of it. So when we talk about the external economies of scale, so this external economies of scale arises due to the expansion of industry. Now what does mean by the expansion of industry? When the industry will